So were AJ and Dixie having an affair? Or were they? Hmm. Is Austin Aries going to actually delinquish and give up his X Division belt just for a shot at the world title? Is James Storm really going to win the Bound for Glory series, or is he? All that and more right here on my Impact review for this week. What's up, guys? It's your boy, the wrestling nerd himself, Trey Watson here, back here with another video. This time talking about Impact Wrestling for June 21st, 2012. Coming to you live, baby, from the Impact Zone, Summer Bash, baby style. Um, this week's show, Open Fight Night, was an okay show, I would say. Not better than last week's show. Last week's show had me anticipating this week's Open Fight Night, but it was an okay show. I'm gonna put it like that. We kicked the show off with Hogan and Aries segment, basically Austin Aries making his decision whether he's gonna relinquish the X Division title or keep it, or was he gonna face the Rude at Destination X. So I do like the fact that TNA actually decided to start the show off with Austin Aries, even though Hogan was involved with it. I do feel like TNA felt strongly enough to treat Austin Aries' decision like a big deal. And you knew what Hogan, anything with Hogan is a big deal anyway in TNA. So Hogan comes out, basically does his normal blah 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 type crap, calls Aries out. Aries comes out, basically tells Hogan that he has a plan C basically. And that plan C is that anyone that holds the X Division title leading into Destination X next year will be able to get a shot at Bobby Roode. And whoever the world champion is, excuse me. And I like that concept. I think it's a cool concept. I think it's something interesting for Destination X. It really shows the strong points of the X division. I'm kind of glad that they didn't have Austin Aries relinquish the belt without any kind of, any kind of, dealing or anything. Just have him relinquish the belt just like that. I was kind of glad to see that they were actually big enough. And do remember that X Division is one of the main vocal points of TNA. That's what made TNA so different and kind of what made TNA popular. So, I was glad that they showed that they still do have respect for the X Division and that they're not really trying to bury the X Division. They're trying to make it better. So I did like this segment. Then Bobby Roode comes out, basically talks about how it's bull crap that he has to defend his belt and all this and blah blah blah. Austin Aries and Bobby Roode get into it, basically going back and forth, and that ends that segment. So this segment did two things: it hyped the Destination X, and we already got our main event announced for Destination X. So this was a good segment. It involved Open Fight Night. It involved everything that was from last week, a follow up from last week's segment with Hogan and Aries. This week we come back, we get the X Division title match, we get the X Division title released from Austin Aries. What I wanted, they took the belt away from Aries, and now Aries is going clean cut to the main event scene, just like I knew they were going with Austin Aries. Good job, TNA. You accomplished two things in this segment. Good job. Then we got our first match of the night, which was our first match of the night, which was Mr. Anderson versus Christopher Daniels. Mr. Anderson comes out, basically talks about how he doesn't like how Chris Daniels is messing with Dixie and AJ's family, basically trying to defend Dixie and AJ, basically. So Anderson challenges Daniels to a 3-minute match. Wasn't anything special about the match. Anderson ends up going over, and basically that ends that segment. So I don't like when Daniels loses, to be honest, because I feel like he's in such a big storyline now with AJ and Dixie that he shouldn't really be losing. He should be ready to look strong. But I kind of understand why they let Daniels get this upper hand victory over Daniels. Because for one, Anderson just came off to a huge loss last week to Bobby Roode from tapping out. So you still need to make Anderson look strong no matter what, and you still need to keep Anderson focused on the man on the TNA title and not take his focus off, putting some back into some type crappy mid card feud. So I'm kind of glad TNA is still looking strong on Anderson and still making him look strong. No problem here. Then we got our third match tonight, which was Magnus versus AJ. Magnus calls out AJ Styles, and I was liking this. This is what I like about the Bound for Glory series. We get a chance to see guys that we don't normally get to see on television like that. Magnus, he just been this year brought back to television, you know. And now I'm glad TNA's finally seeing this guy's talent, you know. Even though I rather had Madness versus Joe, to be honest, I took this and I still liked it. It was a short match, like I said. It was kind of like the theme of the night, shorter matches, you know. But I kind of understand when you have to squeeze in 6 matches and then you're trying to hype up everything else for Destination 8. So I kind of understand what TNA's logic here was with the show. Um, this is an okay match, short, decent match. Nothing special. This was okay. Madness ends up getting the win, rolling up AJ after AJ's distracted thanks to Cass and Daniel. So not only did this make Madness look strong in the process, but also it didn't hurt AJ Styles either because AJ Styles Madness had to beat AJ from distraction, basically still making Madness look strong and still making AJ not look so weak towards and also keeping emphasis on the storyline between AJ, Daniels, and Cass, which is good. Next match we got was Bully Ray was excuse me Taylor Hendricks made her debut against Tara. Another gut check segment. I'm really high on these gut check segments. I was kind of glad to see a new female knockout coming in because the knockout division definitely needs some new faces now. Even though Brooks the champ, and I know I see a lot of big opportunity coming out of this. I kind of do want some new knockouts in the division to challenge Brooks and give Brooks some competition. But anyway, Taylor, she has a decent look to her. She's kind of like one of the knockouts I can see TNA definitely hiring, making her either a bitchy heel or a could cutter babyface knockout basically. She really didn't get a chance to showcase much this week, but I would still give her a chance. I think Taylor Hendricks is definitely something that TNA knockouts need. Kind of that girl next door type look, that pop star type look, you know. Um, but she didn't get really much chance to show much to Tara. Tara played the heel in this match, was I kind of always like Tara playing heel. I just never can get into Victoria, aka Tara, aka Lisa Moraine, playing a babyface. I just can't get into it. I kind of like her as a heel, and that's what she did. She did her job perfectly, played the heel, basically did her job. Even though Tara went over on Taylor, it was still a great showing. Even though Taylor didn't really get much offense, didn't really show much in this match. I'd rather have her show a little bit more, but obviously time construction on this show was just fast paced. So I mean, well, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But anyway, Tara goes over, basically helping her up, shaking her hand, giving her respect. Can't ask much more. So we'll find out her fate next week. Then we got Bully Ray versus the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro. Oh, baby, my mark out one other night to see the Pope back on my television stream. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I thought TNA had just forgotten about the Pope. I thought the Pope was just an afterthought. But I'm glad to see Pope in this Bound for Glory series. Bully Ray versus Pope, it was a decent match. Another short match again. It was the theme of the night, obviously, with TNA. Abyss comes out, distracts Bully Ray. Bully Ray basically tries to run him from Abyss. Gets back in the ring. Pope's hitting some type of thing. I don't know what he calls it. Pins him 1, 2, 3. Pope gets 7 points. And in the process, it continues to Abyss and Bully Ray's storyline. I have no problem. No complaints here. Then we get more of the knockouts backstage or Brooke, basically. I'm liking how TNA is focusing now on the knockouts, really trying to make them feel important. Because as of late, it seems like knockouts become afterthoughts. And I'm glad TNA is finally beginning to put their focus and attention back into the knockout division as they should, because it's one of the most highest rated segments on the show. So why not put more emphasis on them? I'm liking this. They're not paying too much attention to Brooke, because when she first came in, I thought it was more about Brooke. But I'm kind of glad that Brooke is not being like her father. More long storyline, more long segments for her, drawn out segments. Just take all the energy and life out the segment. I'm kind of glad that Brooke is actually not letting her ego take over what she's there to do, basically. So Brooke being VP of Knockouts for right now is okay with me. Um, Brooke eliminates Madison Rain due to boyfriend issues. Then she eliminates ODB due to the same thing, and it came down to Mickey and Velvet. Then we got Brooke's final decision: who would face Brooke Testmarker. And I had my fingers crossed, hoping it was going to be Mickey James. And yes, I finally got my wish. Because I just didn't want to see Velvet versus Brooke again. I mean, that match they had a couple months back, it wasn't it wasn't competition type thing. It was like Brooke facing a girl that was on her level. A girl that's trying to improve, basically. Even though I think Brooke was a tad bit better than Velvet in the ring, I was kind of glad to see Mickey actually go out there and face Brooke because I just didn't want to see another Velvet and Brooke match. So, Mickey kind of acting a little heelish in this match. Not the same Mickey James in this match. I'm kind of liking the way TNA is actually slowly progressing, building Mickey James up for that big heel turn. I thought I was going to get it tonight after the match, but it was a good match, a decent match for the time it got. I wish we would have got more time. That's what I'm saying. Brooke needs someone that's going to take her to the limit. And I believe Mickey, in that little short time period, did help Brooke improve more in the ring. Brooke needs someone that can help her improve in the ring. Not someone that's like right here with her. She needs someone that's like up here so she can come to that same level as Knockouts champion. I'm really enjoying Brooke as Knockouts champ. I think she's a great Knockouts champ right now. TNA's done a great job featuring her, so I have no problem with this. Brooke ends up going over on Mickey, basically, and Mickey looked PO'd after the match, basically teasing more of that heel turn we've all been waiting for from Mickey. Because, like I said, Mickey's babyface run has gotten stale. You can tell the fans in the Impact Zone don't really care for her too much like they used to. Her babyface run has just basically gotten stale, and people are tired of seeing. They want to see heel Mickey James fuck the world. Then we get one of the main events of the night. Bound for Glory series match, basically. I believe. No, we got Samoa Joe versus James Storm in an okay match. James Storm goes over on Joe with the last call. Joe shakes his hand, basically putting Storm over. This makes this whole month Joe has put over two people, Aries and Storm. I can't complain. Then we get the main event. Oh boy, was this terrible. Now, when they start this AJ and Dixie storyline, I knew it was going to end in some corny twist with something really bad and corny. I just knew it. Because I was like, they got a lot on the line here. They could demolish AJ's career and name with this storyline, but at the same time, if it means getting AJ in the main picture and keep him in the main event scene, I'm all down for it. But I just had an odd feeling TNA was going to really screw this up. I'm hoping that this is just a distraction for right now from the real issue. I don't know. But we get AJ and Dixie coming out, basically. Get ready to tell the world what they've really been doing behind closed doors. And the segment just goes all to hell when this bad actor comes out talking about how AJ and Dixie helped her through her substance abuse and addiction and all this crap. And I'm like, so this has been built up as a big blow off. It's like something leading up to something. Now I don't know, is this just like something to keep us thinking that this is what this is really all about? Did AJ and Dixie pay this girl to do this? To distract everyone from the real issue, to keep creeping around with each other? You never know. But I was really disappointed to see if this is the blow off of this whole thing. Then what was the point of ever thinking about doing this in the first place? This was really stupid and bad. The girl was a bad actor. She was worse than Dixie Carter. She makes Dixie Carter like an Academy Award winner actor. Good God, she was bad. Anyway, this bad acting, this segment was not really fit. It shouldn't have been the main event. It should have been the Sting thing, catching up more on what happened to Sting last week. What everybody was really looking forward to this week, and I know I was. Because I really want to know who those matchmen were to attack Sting. Anyway, this segment was just horrible. It left a bad taste in my mouth to end Impact and Open Fight Night. It ends with AJ beating on Daniels and Cass basically in the show, and I'm like, what? An odd way and an awkward way to end the show. But anyway, that was your Open Fight Night Impact Wrestling review this week, ladies and gentlemen. The show this week gets a B minus from me. The whole show was good. We got our Destination X main event announced. The Bound for Glory series is off and running, kicking off strong. You got more storyline continuation. I really could have asked for a better episode of Open Fight Night, but only thing was just this main event segment that made it drop down from a B plus to a B minus. That segment was just terrible. Anyway, this is your boy, the Wrestling Nerd himself, saying peace. I'll see you guys tomorrow for my SmackDown review, and I'm going to give my thoughts on NXT, the new season. So make sure you stick around. It's more coming from me. This is your boy T Money saying peace. I'm out.